Welcome. We're in Oatman, Arizona right now. Matter of fact, it's northwest end of Arizona, one of the richest mining camps in the state of Arizona. They pulled out $80 million in this in 5 years, and they didn't get to the heart of the gold.
There probably is still plenty of gold here, but it is hard to get to, very expensive, and extremely dangerous.
But you still got $8 million of gold in this pile of dirt. And don't get me wrong, it's fine to go over there and get gold, but it's going to kill you. What it was then was any cowboy with a gun pretty much decided what the law was. You didn't have law out here. This is not a town. Still isn't a town.
The Oatman set themselves up for the massacre at Gila Bend. The Oatmans shouldn't have been where they were. They subjected themselves to the horrors of what happened to them, and it happened. They should have known what was coming at them, and they'd just been told time and again. And they were too stubborn and too persistent that they were going to go on and do what they were try to get where they were going. But it was impractical because of the infiltration of the Indians where they were going. And they were savage Indians, they weren't friendly guys. They were massacred at Gila Bend. Olive Oatman was captured around Yuma. She was very mistreated, as in beat, and she and Marianne were both badly mistreated. And then when she was traded to the Mojaves, they made her and Marianne walk from Yuma to like Needles, California, barefoot and continually walking. And they wore all the skin off of their feet. They were, of course, barefoot. When they got to the Mojave Reservation, they were very hungry. They were very dehydrated, very tired, very everything. And the Mojaves gave them food, gave them nourishment, got them cleaned up, got clothes on them, and treated them as best I can determine very nicely. And for some reason they decided that because of her and her being in this area and traded to the Mojaves, that's why it was named Oatman.
Black rock is manganese. You find that black rock, you find black sand, you will find gold. So the miners are looking for the white snow quartz or that black rock. They find that stuff, they're going to stop and spend a couple of days wandering around looking around for sparkly stuff. They find those sparkly things, crystals. Well, then they're in close to gold. Then you got to start small. You don't open up the hole real big if you find a gold vein. You get it small, just big enough for one man and his tools. You get in there and you start digging. When you find that gold, then you get your burrow in there to move it in and out. You open that hole a little more. You get more gold, well, that's when you want to go ahead and go get a mule. You get more gold after that, you get rid of that mule. Now you usually let your animals go because they're pennies to the dollar. That gold is what you're after. Up in here you got 170,000 certified mines in the Oatman mining territory, and you need 30,000 miners up here to get all that gold out. Now not all of them are owned by one guy. Sometimes you got 2 and 3 guys get in there. You get an argument amongst those guys, 6 shells, and you've got 2 friends, it only takes 2 shells. Then you're the proud owner of a new mine. And that's the way it was back here. It was pretty darn tough. If you weren't tough enough to hack it, you didn't live out here. But what it was then was any cowboy with a gun pretty much decided what the law was. You didn't have law out here. This is not a town. Still isn't a town. 30,000 miners, you had, I'd say about 160 working here at the stamp mill. Now they all have different jobs, dragging that ore over. Taking the tailings, that's what this pile is over here. It's pink because it's got cyanide in it and mercury. This hasn't been treated, but you still got $8 million of gold in this pile of dirt. And don't get me wrong, it's fine to go over there and get gold, but it's going to kill you. That cyanide dust gets in you, mercury, well, I told you about the Indians are going to get stomachache. You start playing with that stuff, get a stomachache, walk away from it. You're not going to get enough gold out of that right off the top with one day's work. And it ain't worth it. But there's still a lot of gold out here. And up until the 30s, they really didn't keep track of who died around here. You were just a number. And they made that literal. They didn't know your name, they called you by a nickname. And that nickname went on your headstone.